Hello, welcome to the Crown Life Podcast. My name is Nokia Waller, also known as Royale Elise. I'm an educator, author, and systems thinker, and the work I do centers around clarity, safety, and structural integrity in families, leadership, churches, and relationships. This podcast is a space for thoughtful conversations about why good people can still create unsafe environments and what it actually takes to build systems that protect instead of confuse. Today's episode is called Why Good People Resist Structure. So let's get into it. So, if structure creates safety, the question becomes this: why do so many good people resist it? And the answer is not because they are bad, malicious, or irresponsible. More often than not, it's because the system itself lacks emotional maturity. So sometimes structural feels like mistrust in emotionally immature systems. So, in emotionally immature systems, trust is emotional instead of procedural. So, trust becomes something you feel instead of something you design. So, in these systems, people believe if you trust me, you won't need rules. If you love me, you won't question me. If my heart is right, structure shouldn't be necessary. But mature systems understand something different. Trust and structure are not opposites, they support each other. Structure doesn't say, I don't trust you. Structure says, we don't rely on our feelings alone. Emotionally immature systems personalize structure instead of understanding it. A boundary feels like rejection. A policy feels like accusation. And a question feels like betrayal. That's why structure is resisted, not because it's harmful, but because it exposes emotional fragility. So sometimes accountability feels like attack in unregulated environments. In unregulated environments, accountability triggers defensiveness. So, because accountability requires skills many systems never develop, accountability like self reflection, accountability like emotional regulation, accountability like shared responsibility. Without those skills, accountability doesn't feel like correctiveness, it feels personal. So, accountability gets interpreted as rejection, accusation, disrespect. Instead of repair, people react. And some of the reactions are anger, spiritual language, silence, blame shifting. And when systems can't tolerate accountability, it will label accountability as attack. That's how harm continues quietly without anyone taking responsibility. So there's another thing about, people sometimes in leadership may have charisma, but charisma doesn't replace competence. Charisma feels good. Competence keeps people safe, though. So, in systems that request or resist structure, personality begins to override policy. So there's a pattern if you look closely at every system. Giftedness excuses gaps, popularity replaces qualification, and influence substitutes for accountability. But charismatic leaders are often trusted without guardrails. Competent leaders welcome structure because they understand limits. I'm going to say that for the people in the back. Charismatic leaders are often trusted without guardrails, but competent leaders welcome structure because they understand limits. Charisma can inspire people, but only competence can protect them. So when good people resist structure, it's usually not about intention or morality, it's about emotional maturity and whether the system can tolerate clarity. This is why good intentions alone will never be enough. Without structure, even the best hearts can lead unsafe systems. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that something was said that you needed today, because structural integrity is not about perfection. It's about responsibility. It's about designing systems that don't rely on personalities, emotions, or intentions to keep people safe. So if you like these conversations, continue to listen. I will continue talking about leadership, parenting, ministry, and personal boundaries, because harm doesn't stop through awareness alone. It stops when systems change. Okay, if this conversation helped put language to something you've lived, I invite you to join my email list. This is the work I'll be building all throughout the year with clarity, care, and structure. Thank you for listening. Take what serves you, leave what doesn't, and I'll talk to you the next time. Remember to color the world beautiful and live your crowned life.